Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I figured, we're coming up on the weekend of SummerSlam 2018. Old school fans, SummerSlam. This is going to be a good one. I can honestly tell you that, when matches were first starting to come together, I was really getting excited about this pay-per-view. Now, here we are, the weekend of. I can tell you a few matches off the top of my head that are going to happen at the pay-per-view. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. I know that there's the three-way for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And off the top of my head, that's pretty much all I can do. I mean, if I really put the pieces together, I think the B team has a match against the Revival for the tag titles. The Bludgeon Brothers are the tag title holders on SmackDown. They're having a match against the New Day. And I really gotta think, Miz versus Daniel Bryan. I just made a video about that one. That one's gonna be up after this. And that's about it. I mean, I'm gonna sit down on Sunday. I know that I've complained about this a few times, but since this is the opening of the full show preview, SummerSlam's gonna be too damn long. That I want to sit down. I want to watch the start of the show. You get in the feel by sort of watching. You're not really paying attention to what's going on, but you're seeing the trailers for the matches sort of get you a little bit built up. But you have the I don't know, some guy just flipped me off as I drove by. I got no clue. But you watch the pre-show, and then SummerSlam's like 5 or 6 hours long, I think, and at least you got time to do some stuff. You're not really paying attention during every match, but still, there's other things in the world that you could be doing. So it kind of sucks. But maybe that's why some people like watching it later, so they can fast forward through some matches and just see the stuff they want to see. But if you want to talk about just the highlights, obviously you've got to start with the Universal Championship match. I think that somebody is walking out as a new champion. The easiest thing that almost most people are talking about is that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are going to have their match. One thing leads to another. The thing that makes the most sense in my head is that Roman beats Brock, but then Braun cashes in on Roman. I know that that's the most easiest thing to basically put together. We've seen this 1,000 times. We've seen it at SummerSlam countless times, where somebody beats the champion and then obviously they get cashed in on, and then that is the new angle to roll with for I guess you can say those after summer months. For it used to be Night of Champions and other pay-per-views that go September, October, November. I don't think that is exactly what WWE's going to do. Maybe they just roll with Roman beating him, and Roman's the champ, and we'll see what happens and where we go from there. Maybe they go with Brock just beats him, and WWE is the ones that's really behind all the UFC rumors. They're feeding the stories out. Maybe they helped get Brock on that pay-per-view to set up the Cormier fights. I don't think that's really what is going on, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe Brock just keeps the championship, hoping that Brock is going to turn around and win a UFC belt pretty soon by beating Cormier. And then all of a sudden, WWE is able to claim that they have the UFC champion under contract. And maybe they're actually able to just sort of determine when he's going to fight for UFC. And maybe they can build up a few fights with Brock to hype up a UFC pay-per-view. At the same time, it's making them look good, maybe bringing people over from UFC to watch Brock Lesnar wrestle in WWE. To me, that's a little bit far-fetched, but there is a few different situations that they could go through. Honestly, when you think about what's going down with the briefcase, Braun Strowman, who holds the briefcase after winning the Money in the Bank match, he has a match against Kevin Owens. And as a wrestling fan, I'm a little bit mixed up on what the stipulation is for the match. I think it is, at first I thought that if Owens beats Strowman, Strowman wasn't able to use... I can honestly say that I'm mixed up as to what the stipulation is for the match. At first, I thought that it was if Owens beats Strowman, basically he wasn't able to use the briefcase the night of SummerSlam. Now, I'm thinking that if Owens beats Strowman, Owens just gets the briefcase, and he has the chance to cash in at any time because he has control of the contract. So this one, to me, honestly, could go either way on what they're doing. It just doesn't really make sense to me. You know, when I think of the other matches on there, you know, I hope the Bludgeon Brothers lose the championship. They've held the titles longer than I thought they were going to. But at the same time, I think that Team Hell No might have been the guys that were supposed to beat them. But, you know, Kane had the injury, and it didn't make sense to have, you know, Daniel Bryan beat the Bludgeon Brothers 2-on-1. Even with Kane limping to the ring in his body cast. The other one, the B team, they keep winning. They're sort of like the surprise. They had the match against the Revival. The Revival, I don't think they've been the tag champs in WWE on Monday Night Raw. But they're a team that honestly, since coming from NXT, they have not lived up to the hype of, you know, what there was going on in NXT, and they have really, really good matches. And I think it just might be that maybe because of the injury that happened to him early on, maybe just the fans haven't got used to these guys being ass kickers. Not everybody watches NXT, and these guys are one of the best tag teams that I've seen since Arn and Tully. And the more you watch on those guys from back in the day, the better you think that those guys are. What else is going on at SummerSlam? I'm kicking my seat back. I think it's going to be a good show. I'm not really that excited about it. AJ versus Joe. Yeah, that does seem like it's a dream match happening in WWE, happening on the second largest stage of the year for WWE. But what did we really think about Nakamura going against AJ Styles at WrestleMania? We thought that we were going to get the best match that we've ever seen. You know, the Tokyo Dome, they got a six-star match at Wrestle Kingdom a few years ago between Omega and I just fucked his name up, and I'm gonna live that down. But Okada and Omega. They had that match that was, you know, one of the best matches that, you know, Dave Meltzer said he ever saw. He gave it 6 stars. We thought that you know, the match at WrestleMania between Nakamura and Styles was going to be 7 stars. We thought that they were going to top the Wrestle Kingdom match. They were going to push the envelope, and they were going to give us the best wrestling match of the night. And instead, nothing really happened. So I think that Styles is going to want to lift this game up. But at the same time, I don't really have the highest hopes for what's going to be going down. Intercontinental Champion, off the top of my head, I can't even think of who the Intercontinental... Oh, it's the match between Ziggler and Rollins, which should be fun. Ambrose returned. And then, of course, Drew McIntyre is going to be in there. Might as well call this match a tag match. I don't know. If I was WWE, he's been having some really good matches, but I don't want to like take the easy way out and just basically say that I think it's going to be like a disqualification or something where Ambrose costs Rollins the win, and then you have Ambrose having matches against Rollins. But I think that Rollins has been having matches that were so good that he deserves not to be going after the Intercontinental Championship and pushing up higher on the card. And maybe a singles feud against Ambrose is what they're going to do. Obviously, you go back to late last year, the push from TLC all the way into... whatever the December pay-per-view was obviously supposed to be the Shield. The Shield was probably supposed to run longer than Ambrose's injury, and who knows how that was really supposed to end. But, you know, I think that maybe they have stock in putting them together. So maybe those 3 guys team up and go after Strowman. If Strowman was to win the championship, maybe they team up and go 3-on-1 against Brock at a pay-per-view. It could be a mixture of a whole lot of anything. So we'll have to see what goes down with that. It's going to be a good pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see what you guys think. Peace out, everybody.